About 13 years ago, I went fishing with Patrick and Charles to the river. We were on a small boat and Charles, driving the boat, said,
"Do you guys know what's down there? You'd better be careful if you don't want to smell alligator breath."
But while fishing, as Charles suddenly drove the boat aggressively, Patrick fell into the water. Patrick was drowning and screaming as he couldn't swim, and Charles quickly drove the boat towards Patrick to save him. But the boat hit Patrick's head. Patrick, who was floundering in the water, stopped moving and disappeared into the water. I shouted at Charles to rescue him. Charles jumped into the water, dived below the surface, and came back out shouting,
"Damn, it's too deep!"
I was in shock, and Patrick was nowhere to be seen. I kept shouting, and Charles climbed back into the boat, saying, "I think he's already sunk." Charles and I looked around the river, but the water was still. I was in great shock, and there was nothing I could do at that moment. I called the rescue team, and after a while they arrived, but they couldn't easily find Patrick's body because the river was vast and deep. As I returned home, I kept replaying those moments in my head. It was as if Charles had deliberately rammed Patrick. Then did Charles kill Patrick on purpose? Why? We were great buddies. My whole body trembled in shock. Charles told the police everything was an accident, but eventually he was sentenced to 2 years. Thereafter, I made up my mind to sever all ties with Charles. But 2 years later, I got a call from him.
"My friend, I'm here! Shall we go crocodile fishing?"
That's how we started to meet again from time to time. But whenever he hung out with me, he always went to only uninhabited, remote places, and would always say things like this.
"Hey, if someone dies here, no one would know, right?"
I started to get creepy feelings about him. Once he told me he had something he wanted to do, which was to dig up a deep hole in the mountains, fill it up with water, put 100 piranhas in it, and drown a person in the water. As he talked about it, his eyes lit up like those of a child talking about a toy. Also, while talking about business, he said that if you want to make a lot of money, you have to film a human meat mukbang and post it on the deep web, and he seriously urged me to join him. He seemed to be a psychopath, and I thought that if I continued to hang out with him, I would be in big trouble, and decided not to have any further contact with him. That's how I haven't been in touch with him for about 10 years after that. Then one day, I got a phone call from him saying he got cancer and wanted to see me before he dies. I felt sorry for him for some reason, so I went to the hospital where he was hospitalized. He was lying on the hospital bed, wasted away to a skeleton, and when he saw me, he said, "My friend, we had so much fun in the past. I don't know if you know it or not, but I killed Patrick on purpose. I had missed a really big fish because of him. And just to tell you, I've killed a total of 5 people so far. Do you think the stories I told you in the past were just my imagination?" I'm gonna die soon, but I have one last wish. Won't you grant my last wish before I die?" I was so shocked that I couldn't say a word, and he continued to speak in a strained voice. "Sneak a knife from the operation room for me. I want to slit the surgeon's stomach who operated on me, because he opened my stomach. I wonder how the surgeon would react if his stomach is cut open." I left the room without saying anything and ran away. And after a while, I heard that he died in the hospital. I didn't go to his funeral. Would he be resting in peace after he had died? And has he been able to meet Patrick?